What's up, everybody? Dirtbag Gaming here, the channel for casual raiders. We are doing another Faction Wars 21 crypt with the Banner Lords. Now, this is my second to last one that we're doing. The last one that we're doing is Dwarves, which is the hardest one, I believe. Now, disclaimer, this Faction Wars does have 3 legendaries in it, and it's got the new Void Rezer in it. So this is not a free-to-play. There's a comment on one of my other videos where it's like clickbait. I'm not trying to do videos that are clickbait. I apologize if you think that way. It's really just like fun content, casual raiders. I've been playing the game for 2 years, so having these champions, it took quite a while to actually save up for all this stuff. But if you have these champions, we can run Faction Wars 21 with them. Obviously, my main focus today was going to go over what I did for Stag Knight and the new Void Rezer that we have in the game. She's phenomenal. I can't wait to talk about her and do a video on her. But we got her like 2 days before this opened, so I had to level her up, do all that fun stuff, and get her some good gear. But we've just been rotating the gear across all the champions, so I've already had gear for her. I just basically took it off another champion, put it on her, and then she was good to go. So with this, the waves aren't too hard. It's mainly just focusing on the right specific people you're trying to. Now, Stag Knight is in a stun set. So the stun set in Stag Knight, he's got an AoE on an AoE 3, but he's speed like 220. So he's going very fast. He's got a 2-hitter on the A1. So he's a good candidate for a stun set. Another person could be a stun set is actually the girl. If you get her cooldown to a 3-turn cooldown, it's literally the same thing. It's just, I'd rather just have one person sunset, which is Stag Knight. He does the job. He puts up the decreased defense, which helps a lot, decreased attack. Now, Nurag on this wave hits really hard. He puts up the block buffs, which kind of sucks. But you can put that on a cooldown, like we just did. I also want to say Killian the Lucky is very good in Faction Wars, especially 21. Specific skills that help out a lot with this Faction Wars. He's got the chance to put everybody block cooldown. He puts block cooldown 85% chance for one person, or a 35% chance to put it on everybody, which is pretty cool. Then he's got an A3 that really just stuns the target, 75% chance to stun, 25% chance to stun 2 turns. So basically, he's controlling the waves a lot if it's not Stag Knight stunning them. Now, Nurag can't be stunned, but at least you can block everybody's skills, so they're only doing their A1s. The Man-Eater, obviously you want to kill him because he's the one that is putting up the block damage on everybody, but I really always try and kill the healer in the middle. So we killed the Steel Skull, then we try and kill the block damage, and then I really just want to kind of take everybody down. It's your call who you want to kill. Nurag just does so much damage, so if the block cooldowns isn't on Nurag, I usually just go after Nurag, but we're going after Draco. He puts up the block defense. You know what he does. he makes everybody hit really hard. What's his name? All the way to the left, he has a Relentless set, and I actually put a Relentless set on Killian too, because I want Killian to go as much as possible to kind of help the stun on the boss target. We'll go over that. But what I have for Septimus is he's in a clan boss build. He's got a Relentless gear for the clan boss build, so he's pretty tanky. Like, he can take some hits. He's got almost 3,000 defense, okay HP. But what's great about the new Rezer is she can just res him back up if he dies. So I didn't really change the gear. Now, if you have Septimus and he's your only legendary in here, put him in lifesteal set. Like, just put him in lifesteal set and have him just go at it. Because if he's in lifesteal, he just heals himself all the way back up because he has so much damage that he does. So there you go, he died. But look, we were able to res him back up. Again, if he had lifesteal set, he wouldn't have died. He's good to go. Now, if you're having trouble with Faction Wars 21 Banner Lords, I would highly suggest just lifesteal sets. Like, they work so well. I'm probably going to be doing that in my Dwarves faction because I don't have a Rezer in there. But lifesteal set with maybe like a healer. Now, Lugan, you guys all seen my video on Lugan. He can solo the Scarab King on 1 hard, and then 50 if you're lucky. But he heals a lot, and he also heals the entire team. So if he procs War Master or something like that, he's basically going to heal the entire team a lot, and he's built for damage. So he's providing a lot of heals. He's pretty fast, so he's basically always doing his A1 as much as he can if he doesn't have anybody to lock out. So now we're finally getting into the boss, right? So now this is just like the Sacred Order boss. I'm going to go over at the end a bunch of champions that you could use instead of obviously the legendaries, but highly suggest getting a decreased attack on any faction wars you do. And you don't really need decreased defense, it just makes the run faster. But decreased attack helps out so much. Now, the ad to the right, see how he's stunned right now? Or she? I think that's a Rowan. And everybody says that Rowan is based off of speed. That's why she hits so freaking hard. So if you can reduce her speed like that with Stag Knight, she's able to hit a lot less if she does even go. Now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to stun her. So every time Stag Knight's up, Stag Knight is then going after him. But if Killian doesn't stun her, Stag Knight's going to try and stun her. But Killian's job, literally, why he's here, he's level 50, no masters, is to control the right ad. Left ad doesn't hit that hard. Put up decreased attack and it's fine. The boss hits decently hard, but he like puts up the fear and all that fun stuff. So like it's just annoying. So what's his name? Septimus is literally just going on the boss. Everybody else is literally just going on the boss. Lugan is just trying to do his A1s to heal, and Killian and Stag Knight are controlling that right ad. If you have two people to control the right ad almost never goes. So the right ad hasn't gone yet. It's still stunned. It's still slowed, and it's locked out. But look at the boss. The boss is almost dead just because the Septimus is in here. Like he just hits so hard on the boss. Killian doesn't have to do anything because the right ad's controlled. Same with Stag Knight, but this is all the fight is. Like, if you can control the right ad, this boss fight isn't that hard, I would say. So, there you go. We stunned the ad again. So the ad is now stunned again, thanks to Stag Knight's stun set. But as we're going, what's her name? She has so much health, the new girl, Ursula. So she actually does provide increased defense, which helps, and strengthen, which helps. But you don't really need to do that. I usually keep it in case somebody dies, but I probably should have just kept putting it up because our speeds are so fast and her speed is so fast. So if you're using her, just put up the decreased or increased defense, like because you're probably gonna run back around with her. I think it's like a 5-turn cooldown, might be a 4-turn cooldown. Let me check on that. Her cooldown on her mastery is 5-turn cooldown. So if you're booked out, it's a 5-turn cooldown. So you're probably going to get 5 turns in. So just put the decreased defense up or increased defense. I don't know if we die on this boss at the end. Like, I don't know if, what's his name, Septimus goes down because he's pretty low right now. And then he just has to heal. Like, I'm thinking, no, just heal. Is Septimus going to get, okay. Stun. So we still want to stun that because if he gets to hit, he's going to kill some people. Like she hits like 50-some thousand damage. It's ridiculous. There you go. So Septimus does not die. We're able to do one more attack on the boss, and then the boss goes down. So that is Faction Wars 21 with obviously 3 legendaries. I apologize. We're going to go over some champions that you can use instead of these. But let's start with Ursula. She is like the, not MVP, but she is makes this so much easier. Like you can actually run epics and probably rares with Ursula to make actually do the run. Anytime you have a reser in the faction, it makes things so much easier. So first we're going to go over the champions, then we're going to go over the gear, then we're going to go over the artifacts or the masteries, and then we're going to go over some champions that you can use at the end. So Ursula, the Mourner, we did the times 10 event, we actually pulled her, so that was awesome. You can use her in almost everywhere because she's a very damage mitigator champion. So the first A1, she has a 40 booked up to a 55% chance of decreasing the target's turn meter by 10%. Not a huge decrease, it's only one attack, but it's there. It's 10%, it's okay. She's not here to do damage, she's here to kind of like do this spell. So attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance booked up to a 100% chance of placing a 50% decrease to attack. So not bad. Then plays a 50% increase attack on increase attack on all allies for 2 turns. So she kind of like boosts up your team and then decreases their team. So it's a huge difference with attack if you have attack champions. Now this we had Killian, we had Septimus, and we had the Stag Knight. So they're all attack champions, so it's actually boosting their attacks. Most of the time you run Faction Wars, it's probably defense type champions. And most of the time it's like, it's not going to be attack. But she also has an increased defense. So she can boost up their attack as well. So this one is on a 4-turn cooldown. You can get this down to a 3-turn cooldown. We had to book a bunch to try and get this because it's only one. I love that. But you need RNG to get it. But one book to get this down to a 5-turn cooldown. So a 5-turn res for the entire team. What is Arbiter? Arbiter might be a 3. So you literally have the same res cooldown as an Arbiter. Now the Arbiter reses and puts 35% HP on everybody and fills the turn meter by 20%. But she gets an extra turn. She does revives all allies with 75% HP, then fills all the turn meter by 50%. So essentially, it's very, very close to Arbiter, but she places 60% increased defense and 25% weaken strength on all allies for 3 turns. Like that is probably better than Arbiter. Arbiter does the res, and then she does the 30%, I believe, speed boost. Yeah, 30%. So that's 55% speed boost, and you get to heal them by 25%. So it's 25%, 30, math, 30, 40, 50, 60% HP. So you're actually rising your guys with more HP and 50% turn meter. What's her turn meter? 50%. So literally it's the same. That's so cool. It's the same res as Arbiter, but better. That is awesome. Okay, so that's that skill. And then she has an aura in Doom Tower, which I haven't tried out yet, but we're going to test it out, kind of making your champs faster by 24%. That is a huge speed boost. Yeah, so she's probably going to be very, very good in Doom Tower. So can't wait to try that. Masteries, not a lot of masteries. We kind of just went a little bit down so she can heal more. She has this to bring up the champions, but increase, like you can do the increased defense and strength. Like she'll do this automatically without reviving people. So if everybody's still alive, she'll put this up on everybody. And then probably just a defensive tree. But going back and looking at her skills, probably don't need to heal because I'm not sure if it even works on the res heal. But probably going down the accuracy tree, so that way you can actually land that decreased attack if you don't have anybody else for a decreased attack, and then maybe this one, increased turn meter, like almost like the Arbiter. Where is it? Arbiter Masteries. That's what I would use on her. So hers is more resistance, but you can go down to this to get the increase turn meter for that. Cool. So that is the new girl. She is awesome. Next we'll go over Stag Knight. She's level 50, by the way. So we ran her at level 50. The gear was, again, my best HP set. We've just been rotating this. If you've seen my other videos, it's like the same set. We just rotated to another champion for the next Faction Wars. So I'm going to make a video after I do Dwarves, and it's going to go over how to make Faction Wars easy with good gear. So this one has 3 roll HP with speed. This one has 4 roll HP. Again, you've probably seen this before. This one, look at this roll. 4-piece speed with +5 on top of that. Like that is probably my best roll in the game with speed. It's on this level 50 champion. HP with speed, HP with speed, accuracy, and obviously HP boots with, speed boots with accuracy and a little bit of HP. Then I want as much as HP as possible. I don't want her targeted. We have defense with 3 rolls in HP there, but I just don't want her targeted. So her total stats as a level 50, it's only going off of 13,000 HP. I think it's like around 17 or 18 if she's total 60. So this would have been a lot more. This probably would have been around like 70k if it's the same gear at level 60. So okay, not really good stats here, but 229 speed, like that is super, super fast for a level 50 as well as Faction Wars. So 229 speed. 127 resistance, 126. So I didn't use her for the decreased attack. We didn't need her because we had Stag Knight. So I didn't focus on accuracy. If you need her as your decreased attacker, make sure you get accuracy. But we have the Stag Knight that puts up the decreased attack anyway. So his skills, if you don't know, we booked them all out for this Faction Wars. So I knew he was going to be very, very good. I can start using him everywhere. I started using him in PvP because of what I did with him. So we have attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 30% chance of placing a 30% speed. So you need this for the right ad on the boss for 2 turns. So this is a 30% booked up to a 40, 50% chance. So pretty good chance with 2 attacks, which is awesome. So that's why the stun set is like perfect for a Stag Knight. And then we have this one, which is an AoE. Attacks all enemies has a 70% chance up to a 100% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense and a 50% decreased attack. So this is just so good everywhere. Everywhere in the game, this is very, very good. So with the Faction Wars, I didn't need the decreased attack on the other champion. So I focused on accuracy with him because he is a 60 and I can put a banner on him than Ursula. So you probably don't need it on Ursula unless you don't have, obviously, a Stag Knight. But you're probably not doing Faction Wars 21 if you still haven't had a Stag Knight. So I probably should have put in the beginning, these videos are for like almost people that are ready to do Faction Wars. I wasn't ready to do Faction Wars until recently, and I've been playing the game for 2 years. So they keep making Faction Wars, trying to make it easier so that way people can focus on Doom Tower. But if you don't have the champions to do all of the Faction Wars, at least like most of them, get up to like stage 20 of Faction Wars and just farm that. Farm stage 20 until you start getting really good gear and good champions, and then you'll be able to do Faction Wars 21 a lot easier like I just did. Like, you're not trying to pull your hair out trying to do one, like, Faction Wars 21. I'd rather just get everything good to go, because even if you have all of Faction Wars done, you still have one more Faction Wars to do, which, again, probably wouldn't happen, but you're still not getting Lydia. Like, you're doing all this for a specific champion. But let's get back into it. So Stag Knight also has a unique passive, plays a 50% increased attack buff on an ally for 1 turn each time an ally has a debuff that's resisted. So this is pretty cool, because like if you put this on, it just happens. So anybody that has a thing resisted, they get increased accuracy, like 50%. That's huge. So this is just such a cool, unique passive nobody else has. He's definitely probably top 5 coolest looking champions. Like, that cloak is just so cool. It's got a hood on it. The shield is all shiny. Cool halberd. Like, he's super skinny, but his armor fits him perfectly because he's at 107 speed. So cool. Definitely one of the coolest looking champions in the game. I think you got him with the battle pass when it first came out. So again, we're in a stun set, but we're also in the new 40% accuracy, 5% speed. I've been telling people this is such a good set. Extra speed with 40 accuracy. So I try to stop using my regular 40% accuracy, and I've been starting to use this one because it's just adding extra speed to your champions. So with this, we have speed, crit rate, speed, accuracy, resistance, but mainly speed, defense. And then we have speed. So all of them have speed so far, but crit rate, I wanted him to do some damage. So we got his crit rate up a little bit. Defense with speed, accuracy, HP. And then 45% speed boots with defense, accuracy. So I took most of these stun sets off of my Sylar. So again, I'm just rotating gear until we complete it. Then once we complete it, stage 20 usually isn't as hard. So then I can just put regular gear on him, like another stun set, just not as good as this one. And then he should be able to do the same thing. Then we have defense, crit damage. Again, I took off somebody else. And then accuracy, which I believe we'd level this one up specifically for him. So he's going to keep this banner. But it's HP, defense, speed, great rolls. And then his total stats, we have 37,000 HP, 3155 defense, which is great for only 1,000 defense Stag Knight. And then 244 speed. That is super, super fast. He's 107 base, but he's got speed on almost everything that I could possibly get speed on him. So that's kind of why I love this stack. Like, he's just so good. He puts up the stuns on everybody. He goes through the ads like 3 times every time they go. And then 275 accuracy. This is enough accuracy that you need. But we have 84 crit rate and then 121 crit or 120 crit damage. Not a lot of resistance, but mainly the accuracy is what you're looking for. So if you want him tanky, just go defense, speed, and accuracy. You don't need him to have this damage. We put it on him because we had the crit rate gloves. So anytime I have crit rate gloves, I usually go with the crit damage. If not, I would just go with HP or defense, one of those two. Skills. Masteries, we did book them out. So since anybody in a stun set, you kind of want to go with these masteries. This helps them do a little bit more damage with some lifesteal. And this one goes down more tanky route with healing. And then this puts up a leech, anybody who gets stunned. So he has obviously the stun set. So if he stuns anybody, it's a 60% chance to put a leech up, which happens quite often. Then you can heal off that leech. So that he helps bring some healing to the team. Also the stuns. This is a counterattack. He can counterattack, put up the decreased speed. This one increases his cooldowns or his turn meter, and this one helps increase 18% stun artifacts all the way up to 23% stun artifacts. Great. So that's Stag Knight. Very, very good champion. Perfect for this faction wars. Then let's get into the legendaries. So we have, now if you look at my Bannerlord's legendaries, we have, I have this guy chilling in the vault. I have level 1 chilling in the vault. And I think that was, so I have 2 Lugans, 2 Prince Lord Chamfort. You can use Lord Chamfort if you have him as a decrease attack and a decrease accuracy. So he actually does quite well, and he's very, very tanky. You can put him in a shield set and just make things a lot easier. But if you haven't seen my Lugan guide is somewhere on my page. It goes over him just hitting like a tank. So he's the guy who can like solo the Scarab King on lower hard levels and sometimes level 50. But most of the time it's going to be a different set than what you see here. The Destroy set was mainly for the Scarab boss. I have to take this gear and put it on another Cold Heart because this isn't good anymore. Higher stages. Lower stages than normal, he can solo Scarab King like no problem with this gear. But I can't do that anymore. Like we're in higher hard stages, so I need to use this gear for the Scarab King on a Cold Heart rather than him. So first we got crit damage with crit rate, perfect gloves. Then we have HP. He is an HP champion, but HP, speed, crit rate, speed, HP, crit rate, speed, crit rate, crit damage, accuracy, and then HP with a lot of speed, but yeah, very, very good shield. Then we have HP with really good HP rolls, resistance, HP, crit damage, and then HP with speed and HP. Like this is 26 extra HP just from the banner with 6,000 on top of that. So total HP, he's rocking 79,000 HP, which is huge. 220 speed, fast, 220, 2,200 defense. He's not a defense champion, but it's very good to have defense on an HP champion. 94% crit, 228 crit damage, and 138 accuracy. I didn't bring him in for the accuracy. His stuff still lands though, like his skills. This is what heals the team. So attacks one enemy, heals all allies by 25% of the damage inflicted. It's not his HP, which most of the time, like Vrask and stuff, it is. But him, it's based off the damage. So you need him to hit hard. If he hits hard, he heals more. And he puts a shield up on himself, equal to 10% of the max HP for 2 turns. So that's where it's based off HP, is he puts up a shield on himself. This is a ally protect. You didn't see me do this that much because he does get hit hard, but he doesn't need to. I'd rather him just heal the team. But this is good if you do it, like if you're DPS champions, like Septimus is dying, you just put this up once and then heal him twice. That's kind of the goal. Or you just let him die and have your res him back up. But I'm going to give you champions that can also heal, so you don't really need to do this. If you bring in another champion that can heal, just do this every single turn. This is if to start off the AoE wave, because you do attack all enemies and it is 80% chance. This is why you don't need to book them, because it's an 80% chance to block cooldown. So this actually works a lot, even though he has 138 accuracy. So you're pretty good. But you need this for the last dude, the last boss's ad on the right, unless you bring a Killian. If you bring Killian, you're good. He's got an aura. This is kind of why we put him in the lead. HP Faction Wars by 38%. That's huge. So an extra 38% HP on all your champs in Faction Wars. Then his masteries, we went all the way down to War Master so he can hit harder. Again, it's based off the damage done. So if he has War Master, it's going to do more damage and then he's going to heal his team more. So this is kind of why we want to go with that. Speed if more people die. This was built for the Scarab boss because if my guys died, he then got faster, resetting cooldowns. increasing turn meter, shield. Like this is strictly for the Scarab King, but you could do it with this as well. This would probably be good. Increase for his cooldown, his debuffs, or we can just go with this one. Increase more damage. Yeah, probably go with this one. So that's his masteries, and then let's go into Septimus. My Septimus is weird. It's not a usual Septimus that you see. I put a what's it called, a relentless set on him to test it out in clan boss, and it actually worked. So I use him in my red clan boss every single time, and we get around 32 to 35 million damage because he just keeps spreading or keeps extending the buffs, the debuffs. So the relentless set, again, I would highly suggest putting him in a lifesteal set. If we didn't do it, like let's say we failed or we didn't get the Ursula champ, I already had a lifesteal set ready to go on him. So put a lifesteal set on him if you don't have those two champions. But we have speed, accuracy, crit rate, defense speed, crit damage, crit rate gloves with resistance, crit damage, and speed, HP with defense, and then speed with HP and crit. Like just random, like not just kind of all over the place. I can see, but we got defense and HP, so this is a really good ring. And then crit damage with some accuracy, and then we went with accuracy with defense and HP. Total stats, again, think of the clan boss. We have 2600 defense on an attack-based champion of only 991, but his attack is insane. It's 1674, so we got up to 2810. Not really focused on the attack. 36,000 HP, 198 speed again for the clan boss, 95 crit rate, 162 crit damage, 223 accuracy, because on the clan boss you need accuracy to extend everything. His skills, two skills. This one attacks, grants an extra turn if you kill somebody. Yeah, if you killed somebody, and then Holy Sword, it resets it if you kill somebody. But Holy Sword, attack one enemy, will ignore shield and block damage buffs. Increases according to enemy max HP. So it's based off his attack and then max HP. But this is what hits the boss so hard. So if you just bring him just to kind of take down the boss himself, you can build him like other people build him with just a crap ton of crit damage and crit rate, or you can make him more tankier and just put him in lifesteal set. He's still going to hit hard. You saw my stats; they're not that great, and he still hit really hard. Like 162 crit damage is not that hard to get up to, and you can put a lot more attack on him to hit a lot harder. But it's got a passive. 30% chance to increase the duration of all debuffs on the target by 1 turn. Damage inflicted by each attack increased by 30% if the target is currently HP above over 50%. So he's going to hit harder if the person has more HP, which in the beginning of the battle he will. And then his aura is increases attack in all battles by 23%. He can be your champion up front, but I'd rather just have more tanky leader, which is Lugan. Then our last legendary is another level 50. So we ran 2 level 50s in this. I know he's a legendary, but he's literally only used in this Faction Wars. After seeing him perform, I could see him being in a PvP to kind of lock out some people, but he's only got single target. So he's not the best for PvP. He's really, really good for Faction Wars 21. And then put him in the vault and never use him again. But if you have him, use him. I was very hesitant to use him because I had a really good geared up, I took the gear off, but a really good geared up Lord Chamfort with his skill to put a shield up every single turn. But you know what, let's just try it. So we put a relentless set on him. We just took this off another person, put it on him like we've been doing, but pretty good relentless set. We have speed with resistance. I wanted him as fast as possible. So we got speed, accuracy, resistance, speed, HP, speed, defense, HP, HP gloves with 15 speed. These might have been on Septimus. No, I forget who these were. They were really good though. Then we have HP. So again, as much HP so he's not targeted, and accuracy. So 50% HP with HP, defense, and speed. And then we have speed boots with accuracy. HP with defense, and then HP with, I don't know, I tried this because 5% chance to prevent skill to cooldown. We were testing this out, but I probably should have got an accuracy ring or neck piece for this, but we weren't able to get that. His total stats, we got him up to 189 accuracy, which you saw was enough. Like, I think every time he went first stun, it landed. But if I wasn't landing stuns, I would have had to get this accuracy ring or get more accuracy on here. Banner, we don't have a banner because he's not 60. But again, his total stats, 224 speed, very fast, 2,000 defense, 36,000 HP, only on 9,000, like very, very low hit points on these banner alerts. Even level 60, it's 13,000, like same as Septimus. Septimus, I think, is only 13,000 HP. Yeah, 13,700. So he had around the same if he was 60. So I knew I wasn't going to get a ton of HP. I just tried for as much as we possibly could. All right. 25. He's not there for damage. He's literally there just to lock out the team. 189 accuracy. Skills. A1. No books. Right? No books. A1 attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 35% chance of placing a decreased speed. That's great for the ad. If you don't have a Stag Knight. This one, 85% chance, very high chance of putting a block cooldown skills. So this is good for wave 2 and off obviously the last ad, but also a 35% for 4 turns. I forgot that. For 4 turns, you're blocking out the cooldown. That's why I said this could be good for PvP as well. Also has a 35% chance of placing a block cooldown skill on all enemies for 1 turn. So 35 booked up to a 45, 50% chance. Not bad. And then this attacks one enemy, has a 75% chance of placing a stun for 1 turn, 25% chance of placing a stun for 2 turns. We might have gotten the 2-turn stun on the final ad, but this get booked down to a 3-turn cooldown. And look at that, plus 20% damage. That's... I might have to test them out later on once we're done Faction Wars, but just locks out the enemy team. This one is pretty cool. It's just a random buff that he puts up on himself every single turn. So again, having him fast, he can put up block damage on himself. He can put up increased crit, like any of this stuff. Mainly you want the block damage, just so he doesn't take any damage. And then his aura is attack in all battles by 25%. So almost, kind of like Septimus, same stats, just doesn't hit as hard. Masteries, no masteries, but I would go down to War Master, and then probably this one to help hit this. It doesn't work on stuns. It does work on the block, the other one, the block skills. So you can do that. Or this. So it doesn't increase the stun, but does increase. So 5 turns per block cooldowns. We could try that. Cool. So that is our Killian. Now, again, Killian's mainly there just to control the right ad. Now, I think that was the last champion. So that was all the champions we used. You could have Champ for it. He's very good on a shield set. So just boost up as much HP as you possibly can. Put him in a shield set. His skills have an AoE. So if I booked him out, I knew he's a legendary, so it's harder to book. But if you booked him out to a 3-turn cooldown, you can also put him in a stun set, kind of like Stag Knight, because he has similar stuff. He doesn't have a decreased defense. On his A1 he does. So that's why if you book him out, it's still only a 45% chance, but it's an A1. This one is a decreased attack and accuracy. So this helps out with everything. Shield goes up on himself every single time. If people attack the shield, it decreases the speed. Again, why this would be good for this faction, right? HP is in dungeons, but it's 50%. Doesn't matter with here. Another person I was really tempting was this guy. Controls with freezes, block cooldown attack at 4 times a random puts block cooldown. It wasn't really that guy. Let me pull up the Faction Wars. I'm sorry, the index. So here's some people that you can use. Obviously, if you have any of the other legendaries, use them. They're all very, very good in Bannerlords. Obviously, if you have her, it's kind of like GG. You kind of won Faction Wars. But this guy, if you have him and you don't have any legendaries, use him. He provides a heal in 2 turns. So 4 down to a 2-turn and puts up a perfect veil. So I've seen this guy used everywhere. Continuous heal. Then this one is place a counterattack buff on the champion for 2 turns and has a 50 up to 100% chance of placing a provoke on all enemies. So it just places it. So we're going to control the waves, control all the waves. It's on a 4-turn cooldown. So if you make him fast, he's 105 A speed, and he has a leech. So this guy is perfect for Faction Wars if you don't have the other champions. So if you have him, even 2 of him, like if you run 2 of them instead of the legendaries, just run this guy. Like he's going to help out so much in Faction Wars. He's a defense, 1300 defense, 20,000 HP, 105 speed, like so good. So if I I didn't do it, I was literally going to level this guy up and run him in the Faction Wars. This guy, once you get him, he's going to be very good for Faction Wars. Puts up a stun on everybody, and then puts increased speed, crit rate, and crit damage on everybody. And he has a passive that he can have Terminator Manipulation. This is for Arena, 17% speed in Arena. Fills Terminator by 10%, fills Terminator by 20% of crit. So you want him to hit, like, he's 108 speed. Like, that is ridiculous. But you want him to have 100% crit rate. You want him to do the stuns on everybody. Maybe put him in a stun set, and then he buffs up everybody. So this guy's going to be very, very good for all over the game. Who else? Her. She is new, but I just pulled her. But heals an ally by 40% of their max HP, and heals by 60% instead of the allies below 50% HP. Most of the time, if they do get hit, they're going to be pretty low. So you're healing them for 60%. So that's insane. Speed aura in all battles by 20%. So again, very good speed aura. She's 109 speed. So again, another very, very good champion for the Faction Wars. Puts up a sleep, 50% chance of removing all buffs, so you can remove anything on your champions, like Narag on the wave 2. And then places a sleep debuff for 1 turn on all enemies who have active buffs. Very, very good. Removing all buffs from all enemies, not allies. So it's almost like a Prince Kymar. So 50, 60, 75% chance once booked, down to a 4-turn cooldown, to remove all buffs from the enemies, and then place a sleep debuff for 1 turn on all enemies who have active buffs. That's pretty cool. That's actually very, very good user. A1 plays in she's probably not going to be your damage dealer, but awesome champion to use. So those are 2. Obviously, Stag Knight. This guy, if you have him, I don't have him, but puts up a block damage on a 4-turn cooldown on all enemies for all allies for 1 turn. Block buffs, crit rate in all battles. Dude, these guys are so fast. 106 speed, support champion, 20,000 HP. So maybe a HP shield set with speed on him would be great. We have some res as well. So here's the thing with Sacred Order Faction Wars. How to beat that last boss was to block cooldowns or block revive. We do have a block revive champion as a rare, this guy. I was very tempted to level this guy up and have him just kill the right ad. So if you don't have anybody that can CC the right ad, just kill him and put a block revive. So this guy has right here. Attacks 1 enemies. Enemies killed by this skill cannot be revived. So if you just make him super tanky, he's not got great stats. So he's got 12,000 HP. So if you put just a ton of HP on him with some defense and speed, and have him have like War Master or something, so he actually can kill the ad, you can actually run this guy in Ice Golem. You can run him in Doom Tower for the Spider. If you don't have an Armiger, he's going to be easy to level up. This is on a 5, 4, 3-turn cooldown because he's a rare. This one removes 2 random buffs from the target. Not bad on a 2-turn cooldown. And then this attacks 2 times. So not a bad champion for this specific thing. He doesn't look all too great. He's got a little dinky X. But he does what he has to do, which is block revive. So if you block revive the ads, you don't have to worry about the ad. And the ad hits very hard, you'll see. So if you don't control him, just bring this guy and block revive him. So if you're lucky enough to, or not lucky, if you don't have any other CC champions, level this guy up, maybe even to 50, just to kind of build him super tanky, and then just bring this in and kill the right ad, and you're good to go. But we got a couple of support champions. This girl's really good. Puts up a shield on everybody based on her level. So getting her up to level 60, she's going to put up a huge shield on everybody. Faction Crypt's HP by 22%. Who else? This girl. No, that was the same girl. There's another support champion. He actually also provides, he has stuns, but also provides some healing. It's only 7.5% healing, but it's increased defense and healing on a 4-turn cooldown. So I was trying him. He just wasn't that great because it wasn't healing as much. Again, I just waited till we got better champions than using him, but he does have some heals. I think that was it. Might have been thinking of like Hope, but I guess Hope's in another faction. All right, so those are the people that I would highly suggest. If oh, there was a there was one down here. It was this girl, this girl. So if you're getting desperate and you don't have a heal, heals the ally with the lowest HP by 40%. So almost the same heal as the person above of this champion's HP. Her HP is 15,690, so it's pretty high for a common. Complete fills the target's turn meter if the ally is fully healed. This champion's turn meter cannot be filled by the skill. So 5, 4, 3 turn cooldown, buffed up the heal. This one has a 15 up to a 25% chance of placing a stun, so A1 stun, but being able to heal a champion, and if it's fully healed, increase their turn meter. Like that's really good. So if you haven't seen Commander yet, test her out. Not bad. Heals a crap ton off of their HP. And there you go. So there is the champions that I would highly suggest if you don't have legendaries. Baron, don't use. He's just too squishy, and relying on this is just not great. He obviously can be used. And Killian is MVP. MVP of Faction Wars 21 is Killian that nobody ever uses. All right, guys, so appreciate you clicking on the video. Let me know what you thought about it. We're going to do dwarves today because we're actually up on dwarves. So I have a couple champions. We're going to, again, swap the gear over. Hopefully it'll work, but we are doing this one. If we do this today, we then will have our Lydia ready to go. So guys, appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like the channel if this helped you out. Good luck with everything. Let me know what you want to see next, and I will see you all in a video soon.